Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're doing something a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of, poring over academic papers or digging through archives, we're diving into a really fascinating case study in learning design.
okay. Intriguing. What is it?
It's an entire instructional audio program specifically created to teach English. It's called English Flow.
Ah, English flow. Got it.
So our mission today is to really unpack the clever, sometimes kind of subtle strategies inside this thing and figure out what we can learn about effective teaching, effective learning, really, no matter the subject.
That sounds great. English flow is, well, it's a really exceptional example of how to make something complex feel accessible.
Right.
It's a language learning series hosted by Leo and Sarah, and it's specifically made for absolute beginners in English.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole stated purpose is basically to help people improve speaking and listening by making English feel, well, easier, less tricky, as they put it. It's really designed to build confidence, like right from minute one.
So, okay, the core question for us then, for this deep dive is, what are the fundamental principles of learning we can pull from how English Flow does things?
Yeah.
How do they manage to break down something huge, like a whole language, into these, digestible, confidence-building steps that actually work for new learners? So let's unpack this.
Okay.
One of the first things they promise, like right up front, is about pace and accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
They say explicitly, they speak slowly, use simple vocabulary, and crucially, they give you time to understand and practice.
That time element is key.
Totally. They're not just like dumping information. Their goal is helping listeners feel relaxed and confident. They even say, you don't have to be perfect, just keep moving forward one step at a time.
Yeah.
And that just struck me immediately as like foundational for any good learning space.
Oh, absolutely. It absolutely is. What's fascinating here is how that approach directly counters the cognitive overload that so often just paralyzes new learners.
Right, that feeling swamped.
Exactly. By slowing down, by simplifying, they're not just being nice, it's actually core cognitive science. Our brains can only process so much new stuff at once.
Makes sense.
So this slow, simple, confidence-focused way of teaching, it lets the brain actually encode the new material properly without getting swamped. And that builds confidence through, well, manageable success. It
Right.
really fosters a positive environment where mistakes aren't, scary roadblocks.
They're just steps.
They're just stepping stones, exactly.
And they have this remarkably clear blueprint for every episode, which I think really helps with that confidence feeling too.
Mm-hmm. Structure helps.
Yeah. They start with a short, simple conversation.
Yeah.
Like the kind of thing you might actually hear at home in a coffee shop or maybe in a school hallway.
Okay. Real context.
Exactly. Then they meticulously break that conversation down, explain the new words and phrases, show you how to use them, give easy to understand examples, and sometimes they weave in short personal stories to help you connect with it, remember it better. How much of their success do you think is down to that predictable, step-by-step structure?
Oh, I think it's absolutely foundational. I mean, if we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about learning English, is it? It's kind of a blueprint for breaking down any complex skill.
That's a great
A
point.
structured progression. You start with context, right? Then you get the explicit instruction, and finally, that relatable application through stories. It's a highly effective learning loop.
Mm-hmm.
It uses principles like scaffolding, where learners get support with new info and active recall through those personal examples. It just makes information sticky, makes it transferable. You're not just hearing a word in isolation.
Right.
You hear it in context, you understand how it works, and then you see it applied in a way that clicks.
They also give some really wise advice about the learner mindset itself.
Oh.
They tell you straight up, if you don't understand everything the first time, that's completely fine. You can pause, listen again, or come back later. No pressure.
Huh, no pressure. I like that.
Yeah, they encourage you to just stay calm, listen with an open mind, and enjoy learning. Now, while that no pressure thing sounds incredibly supportive, does it ever risk maybe creating a lack of urgency? Or is that the whole point? Just remove the anxiety.
Well, this raises a really important question, doesn't it? About how we, as learners ourselves, can give ourselves that same grace.
True.
The psychological impact of that no-pressure approach is huge, precisely because it cuts down learner anxiety. So instead of fostering urgency, it actually cultivates intrinsic motivation, perseverance,
Also,
by making the whole journey feel less daunting, right? More enjoyable. It shifts the focus from I have to get this perfect now to just I'm making progress. And that's vital for sticking with anything long term.
Yeah, avoids burnout.
Exactly. It prevents burnout, encourages ongoing engagement, which honestly leads to better learning in the long run than high pressure cramming ever does.
Okay, let's explore this with a specific example they use, because this is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
They present this dialogue. Two characters, Emma and Olivia, and it's all about their daily routines.
Ah, the everyday stuff. Smart.
It's so relatable. It's exactly the kind of natural chat you might overhear or have yourself, and it just demonstrates their whole approach perfectly.
Okay, so what's in it?
Well, the dialogue is just packed with everyday vocabulary put right into action. They cover a huge range of common things,
Like what?
like nuances of sleep habits. Stay up late, went to bed around midnight, didn't fall asleep until 1:20. Morning stuff like woke up at 7:30, headed straight to the bathroom.
Okay, basic actions.
Yeah, but also personal hygiene, rinse my face, brush my teeth, jumped in the shower. Then, getting ready, simple meals, household chores like clean the kitchen, even quick errands like pick up some groceries.
Wow, comprehensive.
It's truly like a master class in embedding language, in just the everyday flow.
And this is just a perfect illustration of why grounding language learning in these common everyday scenarios is so incredibly effective.
Why exactly?
Because it lets beginners immediately see the practical application of new words, new phrases in their own lives. You're not just memorizing a word off a list somewhere.
Right, it's not abstract.
Not at all. You're seeing it in the context of something you probably do every single day. That makes the vocabulary way more memorable, much more useful, and frankly, just less intimidating.
Yeah.
It's a direct path from just passive understanding to actually being able to use it. That fosters real fluency, not just rote memorization.
And it's not just the super basic actions either. Like Emma makes this observation about shopping. She says, the store was packed. I don't like shopping when it's crowded. It drains my energy.
Ah, drains my energy. That's a great phrase.
Yeah. It shows how English flow also brings in more nuanced expressions, feelings. It's not just nouns and verbs.
Precisely. And phrases like drains my energy, they're critical because they add emotional depth. They help learners express more complex feelings, but using simple, natural terms. It's not just about what you did, but how you felt about doing it. That's how language becomes really expressive. And it's really a testament to the program's thoughtful design that they include these subtle but really impactful details so early on.
It moves beyond just facts.
Yeah, it moves beyond just factual reporting to conveying the actual human experience.
But sometimes, the most profound learning happens when you distinguish between things that seem really simple.
Okay.
And English flow truly shines here. One of their standout examples is digging into the subtle but really crucial difference between wake up and get up.
Ah, yes. The classic pair. Very important distinction.
They meticulously explain it. Wake up is when you stop sleeping. Your eyes open, you're not asleep anymore, but you're still in bed, still lying there.
Right. The alarm rings, sun comes up.
Exactly. Your alarm rings, sunlight hits your face. Maybe your phone buzzes. That's waking up. Then they contrast that with get up,
Which is the action.
which is the physical act of leaving the bed. You sit up, you stand, you actually begin your day.
This is where we, in the deep dive, find those little aha moments that really make learning click.
Totally.
The importance of these clear distinctions, even for seemingly basic actions. You just can't overstate it for accurate communication.
Right. It seems small, but it matters.
Hugely. By clearly separating wake up and get up, English flow prevents those really common misunderstandings that trip up even, intermediate learners sometimes. It builds such a solid foundation.
Yeah.
It shows that precision matters, even right at the beginning. And that words that seem interchangeable often carry these important little nuances.
And true to their style, they don't just design them abstractly. They bring it to life with personal examples from Leo and Sarah themselves.
Yeah.
Which is just so effective.
Oh, that's brilliant. How so?
Well, Leo shares how he normally wakes up at 7, but, and this is key, he doesn't get up right away.
Okay. Like many of us.
Exactly. He stays in bed 10 or 15 minutes looking at the ceiling or checking my phone, and Sarah echoes this. She usually wakes up at 6:30, but stays in bed for a while, stretching, listening to birds, doesn't actually get up until maybe 6.4, 5, or 7.
See, these personal touches, they show that language isn't just a set of rules on a page, right? It's about actual real life.
Yeah.
By sharing their own routines, Leo and Sarah make that distinction between wake up and get up way more memorable, much more relatable. It perfectly fulfills their own teaching method that they talked about, connect through real human examples.
When's it stick?
It transforms an abstract grammar point into like a vivid human experience, and that just vastly improves retention.
And they wrap up this segment with that kind of humorous but totally practical observation that I think resonates with all of us.
Which is?
But eventually we all have to get up, right? Even if it's hard. Work won't wait.
Uh-huh. Very true. A nice touch of shared reality there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice touch of shared humanity in the whole learning process.
Definitely.
So, I mean, what this whole deep dive into English flow has really shown, I think, is the huge power of clear structure. The strategic way they break down complex ideas into these manageable, confidence-boosting pieces.
Right.
And just the crucial role of that emotional support in learning. It's really about minimizing that cognitive load and maximizing sort of intrinsic motivation.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've seen how English flow builds confidence, how it prevents overwhelm, makes learning engaging, all through really thoughtful content design.
Yeah.
And these principles, they're not just for language learning, are they?
Not at all.
You can apply them whether you're, I don't know, learning to code, picking up an instrument, trying to wrap your head around a new scientific field,
Or even just new software at work.
or even just new software at work. Look for learning resources that talk at the right pace for you, that use simple examples set in context, and crucially, that give you permission to learn at your own speed.
Yeah.
Seek out those aha moments, the ones that come from clear distinctions and relatable stories, and always, always prioritize really understanding over just memorizing facts.
And that leads us right to our final thought for you to maybe chew on after this.
Okay.
How can you become your own English flow? For a topic you want to learn, or maybe even something you want to teach.
Interesting question.
Yeah, like what's one complex idea you could break down into maybe a simple, relatable dialogue, a really clear explanation with precise distinctions, and maybe a compelling personal anecdote for someone else, or maybe just for your own deeper understanding.
It really is all about making the complex delightfully simple.
Exactly. Make it flow.